Warning, the following video contains a barely coherent rant addressing morons.
Oh my god, I can't believe that this is something that I actually have to address, but I guess I must, because I can't keep this inside my head any longer. I might explode. Nintendo has recently gone on a killing spree, taking down ROM hacks, emulators, or fan-made products, like 550 different Mario-themed games, or fan-made games. And what astonishes me the most isn't that number. What I'm surprised by is people's reaction to this. I've seen this happening for the last couple of weeks and even months now, back when that high-definition Super Mario 64 hack was up and available. Nintendo pulled that down, and people cried foul. Crying foul for a company protecting their intellectual properties is somehow a new low. For me it is. That's a new low as far as the fans' perspective in regards to this. That Nintendo is now deemed as evil villains for taking down these games and making sure that video games aren't fun. Video games aren't fun because Nintendo wants to keep people from stealing. Really? Protecting your stuff is now deemed villainy. They're the bad guys in this. Big N is so evil that you aren't allowed to steal their properties. Yeah, that makes them so bad. Alright, well, why do you put a lock on the door of your house? To keep people from stealing your things, right? Well, that's what Nintendo is doing. They have every legal right to pull down as much stuff off of the internet as they want to, if they feel that it's a threat or something that could put a dent in their sales. Because you can give me the excuse of, well, the people aren't selling this. It's just fan-made. It's just something to experience. Here's the thing. Even though they're not selling those to make a buck off of it, what it does do is that if they get wind, if gamers get wind of a product that exists that's very similar to a Nintendo product and they can have it for free, then that takes money out of Nintendo's pocket. And that, in effect, is still stealing. You don't have to sell the product in order to justify it as being stealing. You just have to emulate it, something like it. Guess what? It's still infringement, and it's still disparaging the rights that Nintendo have. They can pull that stuff off of the internet as much as they want to. It's not going to make them a bad guy. What I would say is, why don't those same creators and programmers and designers come up with a new concept? Why not create something different, an alternative, something that can still be fun and creative without having to borrow another company's name? Nintendo's been doing this for 30 years, so they have every right to pull a lot of that stuff if it means it's going to be a threat to them or any of their properties. That's what they can do. That doesn't make them bad guys. That doesn't make them evil, and it doesn't mean that they're not fun. What I see is this being a hair-trigger reaction to a very self-entitled mentality that a lot of gamers have developed. That you think that because someone pulls down a ROM hack of a popular franchise and someone dropping the hammer on it, that this is wrong. Oh, they can't do that. They're stepping on my rights. It's art. I created this from the ground up. They're squandering my creative integrity. Well, you're squandering their creative integrity and the products that they made. You can't tell them to not go and make a hack of Pikmin or put someone like spell the name inside out. If Nintendo sees that and they think it's a problem, guess what? You're gone. I actually didn't think that my opinion on the modern day gamer could get any lower, but complaining of a company wanting to protect its own material is just the absolute dirt worst. I mean, if you honestly think that you can go out of your way and complain about this and boycott Nintendo for doing something that I think is the right thing to do. Oh yeah, look at this, he's got a Mario shirt on. Clearly he's a big Nintendo fanboy. Look at all these Nintendo games all over his shelf. He's clearly biased. Yeah, I am Camp Nintendo, but you know what? I could write a paper trail a mile long about the things that they've done in the last couple of years that have really pissed me off, but I'm not going on about that. And in regarding to having videos pulled down of gameplay. Like, they yanked Angry Joe's gameplay of like Mario Party 10 and Super Mario Kart 8 or something, and he never wants to review another Nintendo product again. Okay, yeah, that's fine. They've got some strict policies. They can be tightwads about that. Hey, I even have a couple of videos that they have flagged and monetized. I made a top 10 Wii U games list that I made, and I actually don't even know how that video is still up and available. But there you go. I wouldn't have been surprised at all if it was yanked, but it's not. So their policies vary, but you know what? That's their policies. And if you're saying that they should lighten up, like, oh, well, Sega's proud of it. Sega welcomes the fans' interpretation. With all due respect to Sega, and I say this with love, they need all the help that they can get. So, okay, they don't need that particular input, and they don't feel that they have to. They shouldn't welcome it if they don't want to, and if they don't want ROM hacks of their products existing on the internet because it might put a dent in their pockets, because nobody already wants to buy. And you know what? That's actually a bit of a funny thing that I like. So, Nintendo is so bad and so stuck in the past, and they so don't want to give you this, or they truck out the same Zelda games, and Kirby games, and Mario games. Then why do all these ROM hacks exist? So clearly it's beloved, but is it just because you're not getting your way? Is it just because is it just because Nintendo isn't bowing down and catering to your every single whim is what makes you so mad? Is that really what this is about? Because kind of like what I said in my Console Wars video, this isn't even about the games. It's about people themselves. The fans think that they're actually bigger than the games, and that's really what pisses me off. Okay, you can't consider yourself Mr. Self-Entitled, I've got a YouTube page so I have some say-so, I've got Twitter followers and I can rally my army, and we cannot buy that. I see this sort of same treatment in regards to games like Metal Gear Survive, like, oh, it's the worst thing on the planet. How dare they make a Metal Gear game without Hideo Kojima, even though they said they were going to continue to make Metal Gear games, and yet you're surprised by it. Jesus. I don't even know what else to say about this, other than if Nintendo wants to keep dropping the hammer on all of these hacks, then maybe people should learn a lesson and stop making them. Channel that creativity towards an innovative idea. Formulate something new. Clearly there's talented developers out there, but if you're going to put a video up and then have Nintendo pull it down and then call them evil and them the bad guys for it, maybe you're the one who should look in the mirror and realize that you're not the good person. Or at the very least, you're a very stupid person, that this Pavlovian response just quite hasn't kicked in yet. Oh, you put a hack up, Nintendo boots it. Oh, you put another hack up, Nintendo boots it. They're gonna boot it. So stop putting it up there, make something new, claim it as your own, try to make a buck off of it. Channel that creativity towards something else instead of trying to satiate your own ego. That's all I've got to say about it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, or dislike this video if you want to. I really don't care, and I'll catch you next time.